Hey everyone, it's Haz again, and here's 12 essential tips to help your Brighter Shores journey. A quick warm-up tip, as I get a lot of comments about this one, but make sure you properly inspect your interface. Yes, you can expand the menus on the right or the left side using the arrows that stick out here. This way they will remain active on your screen for more information or faster spell use, etc. Specifically for your map on the left side, you can freely resize it to make it bigger, smaller, or zoom it more properly for easier use and navigation. Then the very first and possibly most important tip that will affect your time, efficiency, and just having fun here, make sure you always keep your backpack as clean as possible. In fact, fully empty is best. Really, don't be lazy about this one and your inventory management. I was, and I regret it. I know there's some quality of life missing right now in the game, and there will be lots of running around. You won't be feeling like selling your armor or that one fish that's in your inventory, but every single inventory space that is used for storing useless items that you don't immediately need will make the game feel that much slower and more tedious. It's the beginning anyway. Either store items immediately where you can or sell them, or just drop them on the ground and make sure you're using every single slot when you're farming and grinding to be more efficient with your time. Otherwise, you will spend that much more time running back and forth between shops and other resource collection. Now the next one is not exactly a tip, it's more so information to not panic. The transition between episodes first will feel very jarring regarding the new combat profession, getting completely new crafting, and getting new gear. We are still at the early stages of the game, and the tutorial seems to lack some explanations or better flow to help new players. But a lot of the professions and interconnected recipes only unlock later in episode 3 and even 4 that open up the game and showcase how all of the episodes will matter in the very end. Like there will be equipment crafting that lets you attune items to the episode you want, or you will need to gather items from episodes 1 and 2 in order to craft something important in episode 3. I know for sure, for instance, that episode 4 will require you to fight monsters in episodes 1 and 2 and gather something there in order to craft certain items which you will definitely want to have. So my tip is not to panic about progression, it will all make sense later. Next, as you start out, you will quickly realize you cannot complete most quests immediately. They're generally long questlines over 1 or 2 episodes and lots of grinding. But make sure you complete one quest as soon as you start, called the Obelisk quest, as it will unlock a storing spell for your equipment. This allows you to summon equipment storage wherever you are and let you clean inventory. But again, only store what you really need, sell the rest or you will face inventory issues really soon. A quick tip for this quest and all the others, you can open a quest inventory and use quest items here that are needed for solving them. This is usually where people get stuck at the start. This one is going to be subjective in the end, do whatever you're having fun with, but I highly recommend not sticking around in episode 1 at the beginning and mindlessly grind your professions. You will have more than enough time to do that later on. Now it might actually waste lots of hours for you. Like I said earlier, this is still a super long tutorial and you will unlock crucial spells in episode 2, like storage spell that lets you store items almost anywhere, making crafting and gathering just that much faster and more fun. So at the start, I recommend following the story all the way until episode 4 to unlock everything and then get lost in the grind when you unlocked most quality of life options that the game offers. Now for the grinding bits. For each profession that you have, you can check this in the right side menu. You get a bonus discovery experience for every single entry they have, so each enemy and resource you can mine. This chunk is pretty significant, so I recommend exploring, finding, and crafting everything at least once to bank in all that experience first and have a smoother progression. That's the first part. The second is that while you will unlock newer and newer resources, sometimes you will find that the newest shiny thing is just way too far from anything reasonable like a shop, a proper teleport stone, or in the case of cooking, inventory management is just less efficient, like requiring 3 ingredients instead of just 1. In these cases, I really recommend evaluating your time and determine what's faster, as often the newest is not always the best to level up, and you might find it that going back to a previous location or recipe will help you level to the next stage much faster. In case of gathering, this can also mean just go to the highest experience spot, farm there, and drop your resources until you reach the next 2 levels, so you can leave that miserable spot instead of running back and forth that wastes so much of your time that you can just spend much better. Then a quick tip for combat that will mostly only really get useful in episode 2, it's your immunity spell. This is something I haven't tried for long, as why would I run away from a fight, but using your immunity spell not only allows you to run away, but also run through areas without getting attacked. Even more importantly, you can use the immunity spell anytime, and if you think you're losing a battle, you can just run away and immediately restart the battle with full health, as this game always resets your stats between all encounters. This way you don't need to waste your potions or even die if you don't have luck on your side and your attack rolls were really low. You can just restart battles anytime, so don't be afraid to use it. Moving on to Alchemy. Alchemy is probably the most important profession for me right now, as you can unlock recipes for an experience potion and also strength potions. The experience potions are only 5% at this time, but they will still massively add up over time if you keep using them, not to mention you have to level up alchemy anyway, so you can just shift between crafting experience potions and then using them on others. It doesn't take much time. The strength potions are also really useful for fighting bosses or stronger enemies, especially the first time you enter episode 2 and you have to gather your new set of equipment there, but long story short, keep your alchemy up and make sure to use XP potions for the bonuses. If we're talking about episode 2, then a tip I'd say is also to explore the whole region first before doing anything major, and this goes for all the episodes in the future. Each territory has a portal, and it's best to explore the maps fully to unlock them and only then do whatever activity you were planning. Teleport spells and knowing where shops are will give you invaluable amount of support and saving time and doing your activities more efficiently. And just like the inventory management tip I gave earlier, it can be the difference between having fun or just having tedious grind. Plan your routes, teleport often, and save time. Now once you unlock level 20 professions, you will unlock something called Knowledge, which is a passive experience gained for some bonuses. You'll be able to first either spend points into unlocking the idle crafting for any of your level 20 professions, I recommend Carpenter first, or the game offers you either experience or money. I highly recommend choosing the money option here, as the experience is really not much in the end, at least at the moment, but in a lot of cases the amount of silver you get saves you more time, or in the case of carpentry, gives you enough money to do 10 times as much experience worth of crafting than the bonus experience it would give. So hopefully this will change in the future to be more worth spending on experience. Now I recommend the money personally. Finally, if you completed the Obelisk quest and you have access to the Quartermaster Bank, a reminder to use your auto-equip feature until they develop something better. One of the designs that most players hate right now is the transition between episodes with your equipment and combat, and once you have 2 full sets, this aspect really becomes irrelevant except for the time required to constantly change between your gear from episode to episode, and that just gets annoying. Just use the Quartermaster spell and the auto-equip button in all honesty for an instant and efficient gear set change, and the game gets so much more fun this way. But those were my first tips for Brighter Shores, mostly on how I think everyone can be more efficient, and in this type of game then have more fun. Hope it was helpful. If you've watched the full video, please type Cryonites below so I can thank you for your time. Like and subscribe for more Brighter Shores content, as I have a lot more coming, and I'll see you the next time.